The reason why I love Ringke cases is because they're very affordable, they're good cases, and they offer some pretty good protection. And today we're going to be going through Ringke's full case lineup for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm going to be testing each one of these cases, so by the end of this video you'll know which case is right for you. So let's get started. So here we have the Ringke Fusion Matte Clear. This is one of my most favorite cases, and I'll show you why in just a second. And here's the case. And this is why I absolutely love this case, because of this matte back. It doesn't show fingerprints and it feels nice and smooth. So the back of the case is nice and hard, and the sides are a softer rubbery type material. Fits on the phone really well, feels nice in the hand. It does have a little bit of a grip to it. As far as these buttons goes, buttons are nice and clicky, very easily pressable. I love it. If you look at the case from the side, you can see there is a slight raised edge around the top and the bottom of the case for screen protection. On the side, we have a lanyard hole, our separated volume buttons, and our action button. We have our cutouts on the bottom, power button on the side, and then on the back, shows off the color of your phone, but doesn't pick up any fingerprints. I absolutely love that. And there's also extra reinforcements in all the corners for drop protection. It also has a nice raised edge around your camera lenses. And as you can see, it doesn't add much bulk to the phone. It looks really nice, especially with that natural titanium. And if you're wondering about wireless charging, there's no issues there. So this is definitely one of my more favorite cases, like I said, because of this nice matte back. It just looks awesome. So I definitely recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have the black Fusion X. So this case is a Fusion X, kind of like the clear case, but this one's a little different. It does definitely offer a little bit more protection, but it still has that nice clear backing. The back is rigid, but this case is surrounded by a softer rubbery material. And if you notice, it's got more covering for the rear camera. Fits on the phone really well, feels good in the hand. It's not grippy, but it's not slippery. It just has a nice good grip to it. The buttons, also nice and clicky, very pressable. I like it. And if we look at it from the side, again, you can see how Ringke has raised edges on the bottom and the top of the phone, not necessarily so much in the middle. We also have some texture on the sides for grip. We have our separated volume buttons and that textured action button. It's got extra reinforcements in the edges. We have our cutouts on the bottom, power button on the side that is textured as well. More texture over here. On the back, again, shows off the color of your phone very nicely, and it's got the extra protection for your camera lenses, which is nice. And there's a huge raised edge around those lenses as well. And as you can see too, the case doesn't really add that much extra bulk to the phone. And they have also added this little raised edge to the top near the camera, so when you put your phone on its back and touch it, it doesn't wobble all over the place. I absolutely love that. And if you want to wirelessly charge with this case, you can with no problem. So if you want a little bit more protection than the Fusion case will give you, the Fusion X is definitely the way to go, and this is definitely one of my other favorite cases. I like how slim it is, but still offers some really good protection for your phone. And I like how aggressive the buttons are as well. So I'm definitely going to recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have the Ringke Fusion Clear case. So as you can see, unlike the matte, this is totally clear. It's super light. It's got a nice hard back, but it's surrounded by a rubber edge. Fits in the phone really nicely. It has some good grip to it, and the buttons, nice and clicky, easily accessible. If we look at it from the side, you can see again there's a raised edge on the top and the bottom of the case. We have our lanyard hole, our separated volume buttons, our action button. We also have some reinforcements in the corners as well. Cutouts on the bottom, power button on the side, and on the back shows off the color of your phone. Does it pick up any fingerprints? It does have some slight smudges on the back, but you can easily just wipe those away. And it also has a nice prominent raised edge around your camera lenses as well. And as you can see, it doesn't add a lot of extra bulk to the phone. If you want a clear case, this is definitely one I would check out. And if you want to wirelessly charge, you can without issue. So this is exactly like the Fusion Matte, but as you can see, it's got a totally clear back versus the matte. But it's still an awesome case. I would definitely recommend it, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have the Ringke Onyx case in black. This is another case that I've used for a couple years, and it's actually really nice. It is very flexible. It's got a nice textured back, and as you can see, it does have some extra protection for your camera lenses, and it's also nice and thin. Feels nice in the hand. It does have some texture on the side to help with grip. As far as the buttons goes, buttons are nice and clicky, easily accessible. If we look at it from the side, you can see it's got the raised edge on the top portion and the lower portion of the phone. On the side here, we have that texture with our separated volume buttons and our action button. It does also have some reinforcement in the corners as well. There's our cutouts on the bottom, our power button on the side, and then again on the back, it's got that really nice texture. And as you can see, it's got some extra protection for our camera lenses. It doesn't have a lip, but it has like these individual raised edges around your camera lenses. You can see right there. And you can also easily wirelessly charge through this case. So if you're looking for something to keep your phone protected while still keeping it nice and thin and doesn't add a lot of bulk to the phone, this is definitely a case I would take a look at, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have the Ringke Fusion Bold case. So this case reminds me of the Onyx case, but it's got a nice hard clear back instead of that rubbery texture. It's super light and it's also nice and thin. Fits in your phone really well, feels good in the hand as far as the buttons goes. Buttons are nice and clicky, easily accessible. If we look at the case from the side, you can see it still has that nice raised edge on the top and the bottom of the case. On the side here, we have that same texture. Our separated volume buttons, our action button. It also has some reinforcement in the corners as well. We have our cutouts on the bottom, power button on the side, and on the back it shows off the color of your phone. And it also has a nice huge raised edge for your camera lenses as well. As far as fingerprints, it doesn't seem to really show fingerprints, which is definitely good. And if you want to wirelessly charge, you can easily through this case. So another really nice case by Ringke. Again, as you can see, it keeps the phone nice and slim while still adding some protection, and this one allows you to see the color of your phone with the black accented sides. So I would recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. And then here we have the Ringke Air iPhone Clear. So this is another transparent case by Ringke, but this one is totally flexible and it's super light. This case is totally made of a TPU type material. There are no hard parts on it at all. Feels nice in the hand, does have some good grip. As far as the buttons, buttons are nice and clicky, easily accessible. If we look at it from the side, you can see it does have a nice raised edge on the top and the bottom. On the side, we have our lanyard hole, our separated volume buttons, and our action button. On the bottom, we have our cutouts, power button on the side, and on the back, again, shows off the color of your phone. And it also has a nice raised edge to protect your camera lenses. And as you can see, it does have a thicker back than it seems like the other cases do. So that's where all the protection is going to be. As far as fingerprints goes, it doesn't look like it picks up fingerprints very well at all. So that's definitely a plus. And if you want to wirelessly charge with this case, you can without any issues. And because this case is made of an all TPU type material, when you put your phone on its back or its front, it's more likely to stick in place without sliding around, which is nice. So if you're looking for a very simple, transparent case that has some grippiness to it, I would definitely recommend this case, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. So like I mentioned before, Ringke makes some really nice cases, and I think going through all these cases this year reaffirms that. Their cases aren't anything crazy, they're not super expensive, they just get the job done. They offer some really nice protection at a great price. And I absolutely love the fact that they do have a nice high raised edge around the camera lenses because they can crack. And again, some of my favorite cases are going to be the clear matte case for your clear option. And if you want something more protective, I would definitely go with the Fusion X. So if you guys want to pick any of these cases up yourself, I will be putting a link in the video description. And if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out my channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I'd also recommend checking out my best and worst cases and screen protector video for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and if you want to check that out, just click on the video you see on your screen right now. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.